JG Francoeur, we're live. Thanks for joining me.
Patrick, I got my work gloves on, baby. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get to work. Let's go.
That's all smoke and mirrors. We know that those gloves aren't yours. They belong to your right-hand guy, Jason, and you just stole them.
Oh, my gosh. Are you serious? I knew you Alberta boys stuck together. I got to tell you, I knew you guys would stick together.
Okay, developer extraordinaire, Vista Properties, JG Francoeur, thanks for joining me. Hey, listen.
My pleasure.
December is here, which means that we're, less than 30 days away from a new year. So I wanted to just do this Facebook Live. Couple things to the Rain community. Number one, I guess, is it too early to say Merry Christmas and we're on our way? I don't know. I don't know protocol. I never do, right?
I am so deep into real estate right now. I had no idea Christmas was coming. Like, it's just deals left, right, and center. It's crazy.
Don't be buying my present last minute. I want a good one. Okay, let's get things handled here. So first and foremost, tomorrow, Breakfast Club. So, Breakfast Club we do every month, and we certainly have our regulars. If you're part of the Rain community and you've been procrastinating, I'll tell you what, show up tomorrow, procrastinate later. Tomorrow's going to be a great Breakfast Club because we are going to wind down the year, but we're also going to set the trajectory for the new year. That's tomorrow. Then next week, we have member meetings. Descriptions are in the links, but I think it's the 10th and the 11th, West and East. And then you and I are going to be in Toronto. We're going to be presenting at the Expand event with Alfonso Quadra and Wealth Genius. We are doing a major breakout day. You and I are hosting, facilitating, and we're also presenting. And on Friday and on Sunday, and the event's going to be epic. So links in the description below, as well as discount codes. Okay, so I got all the kind of the minutia and the details out of the way. JG, I was at your place last week in Peterborough. You took me on a tour of your recent completion of your town or your coach home. I got to see a river. Yes, the beautiful burner, Mr. Friendly. And so that was fun. So now you got your tenants, you got that coach home done. What else you got going on? Talk to me. What do you got going on?
There is so many deals right now. I got private deals left, right, and center happening right now. There's the deals are flowing right now, Patrick. Those who've got to sell want to sell. There's not many buyers in the market, as you know. So it is acquisition central time right now. There is a huge opportunity. If you believe in real estate, you see the long-term potential in real estate, man, what a buying opportunity. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm shopping, Patrick, every single day. Today, I went and looked at 3 different deals, all private, by the way, and great opportunities, great opportunities.
So it is interesting that as we got the first half, we really got to about the middle of December to get stuff done, wrap up the year and start to make plans for 2025. So many people have been sitting on the sidelines, which is fine. I mean, for some, who've got capital, they're just waiting and they're waiting for those opportunities. But there are definitely some opportunities that are starting to show up. I have to say a couple things, and we talk about this on Rein It In. We talk about it at member meetings and all the things that we get into around real estate. But ultimately, we're seeing that this is a time to get into that detached, whether it be, with the AUD, of course. When I say, single family detached, I'm talking, multiple units, but not a bungalow. So I don't know how this, we got to get some languaging around that. I might be missing something, but, single family, I want to make sure that we're just talking 5 units or less. That's it. That's ultimately it. You got to get in that game because that's real estate gold. They're not building anymore. There you go.
It's a heck of an opportunity, Patrick. And, single family plus ARU plus ADU is a huge opportunity. And I've been touring people nonstop through the ones that we built. The last one recently, by the way, the video showing the before and after and what we did in 88 days just dropped today. It's on my YouTube. I'm going to be posting all over social, but that's live. So people can kind of see the progress, like a 3.5-minute video from day 0 to day 88. Pretty cool stuff. But I've been touring a bunch of very seasoned professionals through this, Patrick, like seasoned realtors, seasoned mortgage brokers, seasoned investors, and their minds are blown. Like we are we got to understand how ahead of the curve we really are with this stuff, Patrick. The average person has no idea this opportunity exists. It's a total blue ocean right now, but it won't stay like that forever, which is why I think the time is now. But, some people would rather sit there and drink eggnog until January 2nd. And I don't know. I mean, I'm drinking eggnog too, I guess, but it's time to make hay. Let's go.
But it's such an uncertain market. People, I think, are just really nervous. But this is, in fact, where the time is.
Can we talk about that? Let's talk about that, actually, Patrick. I just love that you brought this up. Let's take the gloves off. We took the gloves off. Let's talk about that. Yeah. Let's talk about uncertainty. Let's break it down. Where do you think people think the uncertainty is? Is it in the price? Is it in interest rates? Where's the uncertainty? Because from my perspective, from what we come through in the last 2.5 years, I am more certain today than I've been in 2.5 years. I'll tell you where I was uncertain when we were at the tippy top of the market, and I knew it's just a matter of time before this starts to go down, because I knew we were at the top. The uncertainty is all out of the market right now, Patrick. I understand that's a different way of looking at it, but there's no uncertainty in this market. It's more certain than ever before. Prices are going up. Interest rates are coming down. You're going to have a phenomenal investment.
Yeah, and that currency is debasing, and that we have to get our money into hard assets, and real estate is that thing to get them into. But where people are uncertain is, within banking, a lot are nervous that interest rates aren't going to go down, or they're not going to go down enough. Plus, let's face it, the headlines around what's happening in primarily GTA, Toronto, and the meltdown of that condo market, and to a lesser degree, Vancouver in that same kind of space. But those headlines paint everything with the same brush, when we know that there is, in fact, opportunities out there. And when you look and you break down the market, we've said this many, many times, and we can't stress it enough. There's no bad time to invest in real estate. There's just the wrong strategy given what's going on economically. And that's what we have to be aware of. When we look at literally the opportunities that are out there as motivated vendors that are out there trying to get rid of and wanting to sell units. Buyers are sitting on the sidelines waiting for interest rates to come down, or maybe prices to come down. I don't see it. I don't, especially and particularly, let's get specific, in that detached or semi-detached space. I just don't see prices coming off that much. And unless you're a flipper and you're trying to buy and sell within a few months, when you've got that long-term view of the world, you're only going to gain from these kind of asset purchases today.
Now, there's something I 100% agree with, Patrick, which is flipping is a bad time right now. Don't be flipping. That's a dumb idea right now. It is not a good time to be flipping. Now, if you plan to buy and hold for a certain amount of time, and you plan to sell into the future, but those that are trying to buy this month and sell next month, or assignments, I mean, it's a rough market for that. I would not be doing that right now, Patrick. But what does a real estate investor need to do extremely well? Oftentimes creativity helps. The deals I'm looking at right now, Patrick, literally on my desk, I'm crunching the numbers. I'm here late. There's no one else at the office. It's me and the dog. What are we doing? We're looking at deals. We're crunching numbers. One deal, it's an AFS, agreement for sale. Next deal comes with a VTB. How much, Patrick? Ask me how much VTB is it? Just ask me.
How much is the VTB? Is it like 40%, 20%?
100%. Okay, 100% VTB. That's the second deal. Third deal comes with an assumable mortgage and a VTB. Two pretty creative things. Third deal, full private, and we're just in the beginning of negotiating. Point is, tons of creativity out there, Patrick. 2 years ago, you had to remember the days when we had to write like dollar figures on the back of sticky notes and just like hope they would accept our offer. It's not like that anymore. This is the time. My gosh. I mean, I'm blue in the face, Patrick. How much can I do this?
Yeah. Okay, so I want to qualify a couple things. So you're based in Ontario, so you have a different view of the world than what's happening in British Columbia and or Alberta. Right now, I'm actually getting on a call with Calvin Hexter tomorrow, not yesterday. I can't get on a call with him yesterday. I am, however, getting on a call with him tomorrow, and we're going to talk about the December or the Edmonton market. and what we're going to be talking about at the Expand event in December on the Toronto on the 15th. So Edmonton market is a bit of an exception, as is there's still some deals happening in Calgary. But when we look at Alberta as a province and we look at some of those other markets, outside of Edmonton, outside of Calgary, still some great opportunities in Alberta in that regard, even from an affordability cash flow point of view. Can't stress that enough. And that's where there's still maybe some opportunity to flip. I'm just saying that some of the more experienced guys in those cities will probably do fine.
Well, the cycle over there is in a completely different spot than where we are in Ontario. And by the way, it's not universal across all of Ontario. It's like I operate in a certain market in certain markets, and I track the cycle of those markets. And same with BC, Patrick. And curiously though, Patrick, what's been have you heard much about the East Coast? Because remember again, a year and a half, 2 years ago. It was all about the East Coast. People were so happy to be buying places for $60,000, $70,000 and flipping them for like $75,000 or $80,000. Have you heard much? Is there still a lot of action out there?
There's still action out there. I haven't heard a lot, to be honest with you, and I haven't looked into it too deep. But East Coast is still pretty strong, like Alberta. Things are moving in the real estate world on the East Coast. Again, more like Alberta in that regard, but I haven't got into the minutia of what's happening economically there, other than to say it still remains quite robust. I want to go back. So that's that East Coast thing. I want to talk about Expand a little bit, because you're doing a presentation at Expand specifically on ADUs/coach home and how you do it. You're going to be given some real takeaway kind of insights, info on how you go through the process. You're going to be probably using one of your examples as a case study?
Absolutely. I only give examples of deals I've actually done and like real numbers. These are not hypothetical. They're not forecasts. They're not like maybe this might happen. It's like these are the real numbers of stuff that's happening. And we get into the meat and potatoes, Patrick, which is what should you be what should you be buying these for? What kind of money should you be putting into them from a renovation perspective? What should you do? And then what should your ROI be? And what does that look like into the future? And if you run those numbers wisely, you're going to find out it's a pretty good idea.
Beautiful. Okay, so listen, folks, tomorrow morning is Breakfast Club. Next week is member meetings. Then the 13th to the 15th, we're in Toronto at the Expand event. Links are all in the description below. JG, thanks for joining me last minute like this. And, it's good to see you working hard.
Putting my gloves back on, Patrick. I'm going back to work.
With your fake work gloves.
Look at that, buddy. That's real diesel on there, my friend.
Thanks, everybody.